The film opens with two Forest Service workers paddling their canoe down a quiet river. One of them, Gabby, is flying a drone to monitor the area when suddenly a boy named Steven shows up and smacks the drone out of the air. Before she can even react, it crashes somewhere deep in the woods. Winston, another worker, tells her to go find it and gives her an hour, even though Gabby isn't too sure about going alone into the thick forest. As Gabby walks deeper inside, we see two strange men named Baron and his son Stefan. Their bodies are covered in dirt, wearing only old rags tied around their waists. They look weak, almost starved, and are busy setting up handmade traps using sticks and forest scraps to blend in with the surroundings. Meanwhile, Winston waits on the other side of the forest for Gabby to come back, but he doesn't have his radio, which means Gabby can't reach him. After a while, Gabby starts feeling something's off. The forest feels too quiet, like someone's watching her. She starts walking faster until suddenly a wooden trap snaps around her leg. A sharp stick pierces her foot, and she screams in pain, falling to the ground. Winston hears her scream echo through the forest. He quickly rushes back to the canoe to grab his radio, but it's wet and no longer works. With no other choice, Winston jumps back into the canoe and starts paddling fast down the river, shouting Gabby's name, hoping she's still alive. The forest begins to glow with a strange red light, and the trees start making creepy sounds as the whole place looks like it's turning into something unreal. Even with the weird lights and noises, Gabby and Winston keep trying to find each other in the dark. Gabby can't help but keeps following the glowing light. The red glow guides her deeper into the woods until she finds an old wooden cabin standing all alone. While she's walking toward it, Winston senses someone behind him. He turns and sees what looks like a big mushroom. Panicking, Winston tries to run, but slips into a muddy puddle and gets stuck, struggling to get free. Gabby reaches the cabin and knocks on the door, hoping someone will let her in. When no one answers, she slowly pushes the door open and goes inside on her own. She switches on her phone flashlight and looks around. The place is empty and filled with random old stuff lying around. She finds a blanket in the corner, lies down on the floor, and wraps her injured foot with a piece of cloth to stop the bleeding. By morning, Gabby wakes up sweating from a nightmare. She's still trying to calm herself when the door suddenly opens. Berend and his son Stefan walk in, holding hunting tools and spears, looking wild and tired. Gabby freezes as Berend stares at her with suspicion. He demands to know who she is and if she came with someone else. Gabby nervously says she isn't alone and that her partner is out there. Later that night, Gabby sits with Berend and Stefan near a small fire. They share whatever food they have, worms and bits of cooked meat. Stefan barely speaks, only watching quietly while his father talks. Gabby tries to ease the tension by telling them about her city life. Out in the distance, Winston finally sees what's been following him. It's a horrifying creature with rough skin that looks like tree bark and glowing eyes. It lets out a loud screech that shakes him to his core. Without thinking twice, Winston runs as fast as he can through the dark forest to get away. Winston hides behind a large tree trying to catch his breath, but the danger's already too close. Strange moving thing crawl up the trunk where he's hiding, slowly searching for him. Before he can move away, the tentacles wrap around his body and sink into his skin as his body begins to change, turning him into something not quite human anymore. The next morning, Berend and Stefan help clean Gabby's wounds. While bandaging her legs, Stefan keeps stealing small glances at her. He seems drawn to her, even though his father keeps warning him to stay focused. Once they finish treating her, Berend and Stefan head out into the woods to hunt for food. A while later, Gabby wakes up and is horrified to see small fungi growing on her arms. She tries to scrape them off, but it hurts badly, leaving raw marks on her skin. She picks up her radio, hoping Winston will answer. There's only static at first, but then she finally hears his voice broken and unclear, as if he's struggling to speak. Gabby tries talking back, but the signal fades again, so she gives up and hopes she'll see him soon. Thinking quickly, Gabby lights a fire in the cabin's small chimney, so Winston might spot the smoke and find her. As she walks around the cabin, she steps on a loose plank that rattles. Curious, she lifts it and finds a hidden compartment under the floor. Inside, there's an old photo of a woman along with strange tools and broken mechanical parts. Before she can look closer, Berend returns and Gabby quickly moves away from the spot. Berend notices the fire and instantly pours water on it, warning Gabby not to light any fire during the day. Gabby asks about the woman in the photo, so Berend takes a deep breath and tells her the woman was his wife who died of bone cancer 13 years ago. He also reveals that before living in the forest, he was a plant pathologist. Suddenly, a monstrous creature bursts through the cabin door. Its thick tentacles reach across the floor, searching for movement. Gabby quickly covers her arms and face with dirt, copying Berend and Stefan, hoping the creature won't sense her scent. Stefan stands frozen, pointing his weapon Stephen at the door, while the creature's slimy arms creep closer toward Gabby. Just as one of the tentacles is about to grab her, Berend rushes forward and slashes it with his blade, saving her in time. The creature starts thrashing around in anger, pushing the door wide open with a loud crash. Its appearance is horrifying as it has a human body, but its head is completely made of fungus. The creature doesn't have eyes, but it can hear every small sound around it. Gabby hides quietly, trying to make sense of what she's seeing, but before she can react, Stefan jumps forward and attacks. He stabs the creature again until it finally collapses to the ground. Its thick, dark stain splashes all over the room, even covering Gabby's clothes. Once the creature is gone, Stefan quickly removes Gabby's stain-soaked shirt and wipes the infected stain off her skin using a cloth. Berend explains that the stain from these creatures is dangerous. It spreads infection fast. He tells her that these monsters are actually humans who've been taken over by a deadly fungus. It enters through the eyes, mouth, and lungs, taking full control of the body and connecting it to a massive fungal network. Once that happens, it keeps spreading like a wildfire across anything alive. The next morning, Gabby shows her phone to Stefan. He's amazed by it, having never seen such a device before, but his father gets furious. He grabs the phone and throws it hard against the wall, shouting that it's a tool of evil that doesn't belong in their world. Later, Berend and Stefan go out to make an offering to a strange tree covered with living fungus, something they believe keeps the creatures away. While they're gone, Gabby quietly explores the cabin looking for answers. In Berend's private room, she finds his old notebook filled with notes and strange thoughts. She found out that Berend once worked on experiments that could be linked to what's happening now. When Berend and Stefan return, they decide to search for Gabby's missing colleague, Winston. Stefan begs to go with them, but his father refuses. As Gabby walks through the woods with Berend, she spots a flashlight she recognizes that it's Winston's. She knows he must be nearby. They follow the trail until they find Winston's body. His face and chest are covered with fungus barely recognizable. Gabby realizes he's still alive but suffering, and he whispers painfully, begging them to end his life before he turns into one of the monsters. He wants to die as a human, not as one of them. Gabby's heart breaks as she looks at her friend, realizing how far this infection has spread. She also remembers how smart Winston was, as he could have uncovered the truth behind the forest and the creatures if he had survived. One morning, Gabby wakes up to see small patches of fungus growing on her legs. She panics, but Stephen tries to help her the only way he knows. He gives her some of the fungus his father once told him to eat, hoping it will stop the infection from spreading further. Later, Stephen takes Gabby deep into the forest to show her something he has never shown anyone, his mother. When Gabby sees her, she's completely shocked. The woman isn't human anymore. She's become part of a tree. Her body is covered in bark and vines, but she still moves slowly, and Gabby can even hear faint breaths coming from her. What hits Gabby the hardest is seeing a wedding ring still wrapped around one of her twisted fingers. Disturbed by what she has seen, Gabby becomes desperate to know the truth. She finds her broken phone and is relieved that it still works. She inserts the SD card she found earlier in the woods, the one from the camera she and Winston had set up before everything went wrong. The photos show exactly what she feared, horrifying images of the same kind of creatures that attack them. As she goes through the pictures, Berend starts ranting nearby about how humanity is destroying itself. He talks about how people have become careless with nature, and what's happening now is a punishment, a rebirth through the fungus. Soon after, Berend takes Gabby to the heart of the forest, the place where all the creatures come from. There, Gabby sees something she can hardly believe. Berend kneels before a giant pulsing tree covered in living fungus. She watches in horror as he gently touches it, speaking to it like it's alive, like it's his wife. That's when she understands this tree is the source of everything. That night, Gabby tries to escape with Stephen. They run quietly through the woods, but Berend catches them and blocks their way. He warns Stephen that the outside world is full of danger and lies, convincing him to stay. Gabby begs him to come with her, but Stephen hesitates, torn between his father and the truth. Gabby can't leave him behind. So later that night, she sneaks back to the cabin, grabs Berend's bow and arrows, and goes after Stephen. But when she reaches the forest clearing, her heart drops. Berend is performing a ritual trying to offer his own son to the tree-like creature. Stephen struggles and screams as thick roots wrap around his arms, pulling him closer. Just then, Gabby jumps in to save him. She shoots arrows at the roots, trying to free Stephen, but the creature begins to fight back its twisted vines, moving like living arms. Berend joins the attack, shouting that Gabby doesn't understand what he's trying to do. He sees his father aiming his weapon at Gabby, ready to harm her. In a moment of courage, Stephen stops his father from hurting her, and Berend falls to the ground, weak and silent. Taking this chance, Stephen and Gabby run away through the forest and return to the cabin to rest for the night. Back in the woods, Baren lies still as the strange living fungus begins to spread around him. The creatures he once trusted now turning against him, slowly covering his body and making him one with the forest. The next morning, Gabby wakes up and finds an old book near her, one of Baren's journals. It's filled with his thoughts and warnings about how nature could rise again and reclaim everything. She tries to understand his words, but her strength starts fading. Soon she realizes the infection has spread too far. The strange growths begin to appear on her skin, and she knows she won't make it out of the forest. With a heavy heart, she tells Stephen to go on without her and start a new life beyond the woods. Stephen leaves with tears in his eyes, knowing Gabby will now rest peacefully with the forest. In the final scene, Stephen reaches the city. Life looks normal again, and he sits alone at a restaurant quietly eating his meal. But as he finishes and stands up, he notices something strange. The food on his plate is slowly growing mold, just like the fungus from the forest.